I'll never forget the look on Karen Peton's face when she realized she'd just called the cops on a regulatory attorney. The smug satisfaction melted from her features like ice cream on hot pavement. I'm Jake Dawson, and I'd driven 4 hours to help my daughter Emily move into her new townhouse in Oakwood Commons. The moving truck had barely stopped when Karen came marching over in designer sandals, her lips pursed like she'd bitten a lemon. "Excuse me," she announced in a voice that could strip paint. "You can't park that vehicle here without proper permits from the HOA board." Emily, trying to be friendly, extended her hand. Karen ignored it. I explained we were just unloading. Karen immediately whipped out her phone and started taking pictures, narrating, "Illegal activity in progress. Unapproved commercial vehicle. Potential damage to common areas." Karen then flipped through a leather-bound notebook and declared Emily was not on her list. "You're trespassing." I recognized the type immediately. I set down the box. "My daughter closed yesterday," I said calmly. Karen flushed red. She stepped directly in my path. "Put that box down immediately. I haven't inspected it for prohibited items." She claimed specific appliances, like blenders over 70 decibels, required board approval. She was clearly making it up. That's when Karen played her trump card. She dialed 911. "Hello, police. I need to report suspicious individuals loading unknown items into one of our units. One is an older man with an out-of-state license plate. Very threatening demeanor." Emily looked worried, but I patted her shoulder. "Don't worry, sweetheart. Let her call. We're not doing anything wrong." Karen stood guard, preventing us from unloading anything more. 10 minutes later, 2 patrol cars arrived. Karen practically skipped over, gesturing wildly. The officers approached us. "Sir, we received a report of trespassing and suspicious activity," the lead officer said, whose badge read Sergeant Morrison. I handed him my license. "I'm Jake Dawson, helping my daughter move in. She closed on Unit 47 yesterday." The second officer, Ramirez, studied my face. "Dawson. Jake Dawson. Wait, aren't you the attorney who took down that HOA in Riverside last year? The embezzlement case?" I smiled slightly. "That would be me. Yes. I specialize in regulatory law and HOA governance issues." Sergeant Morrison's eyebrows rose. He handed back my license and turned to Karen. "Ma'am, these people aren't trespassing. The daughter owns the unit." Karen sputtered about permits and illegal trucks. Officer Ramirez pulled out a notebook. "Which specific laws are they breaking, ma'am?" Morrison sighed. "Ma'am, HOA rules don't override property rights. They own the unit. They can move in. Unless they're actually breaking a law, not a covenant, there's nothing we can do." I made my decision. "Officers, since you're here, I'd like to file a complaint. This woman is harassing us and preventing us from accessing my daughter's property." Karen was aghast. "You can't file a complaint against me. I'm the HOA president." Ramirez didn't hesitate. "Actually, he can." As the officers drove away, Karen doubled down. "This isn't over. I'll be reviewing every single item you bring into this community. One violation and you're out." I set down my box and pulled out my phone. "Actually, Karen, I think I'll be reviewing some things too. Starting with your HOA's governing documents, financial records, and election procedures. Those are private HOA documents." "Wrong," I smiled, using my courtroom smile. "Not in this state. They're not. HOA records are subject to member review. And my daughter is now a member." Over the next 3 days, I went to work. Red flags were everywhere: no updated website, no published financial statements, and no record of board elections since 2016. I started knocking on doors. The stories poured out: illegal fines for grass height, fees for unauthorized flower colors, assessments that vanished. Richard Thornton, a retired accountant in Unit 6, gave me the smoking gun: missing funds, improper transfers, and no legitimate elections since 2016. Karen had simply appointed herself president. When Karen sent Emily a violation notice for unauthorized window treatments, wrong shade of white, I called for an emergency HOA meeting. The community center was packed. I stood up with my stack of documents. "I moved to audit the HOA's financial records for the past 8 years, I began." Karen banged her self-bought gavel. "You're out of order." "Wrong again," I said, citing her own bylaws. "I move for immediate board elections as there haven't been any since 2016. I held up documents from the Secretary of State proving no filings. Murmurs turned into shouts. I pressed on, moving to review all illegal fines and assessments. Richard Thornton seconded all motions. Then I delivered the killing blow. Given the serious irregularities, I move for the immediate dissolution of the Oakwood Commons HOA. The room exploded. Out of 93 units, 87 voted to dissolve. Only 2 voted against, Karen and her friend. Karen's carefully constructed kingdom crumbled. This is illegal. I'll sue every one of you. The legal dissolution took another month. The DA opened an investigation into missing funds. Karen was forced to pay back $32,000 in illegal fines. Her real estate license was suspended. The last time I saw her was at the final dissolution hearing. The judge confirmed the vote, officially ending the HOA. As the gavel fell, Karen sobbed. 8 years. I gave 8 years to this community. The judge's response was brief. Ma'am, you gave yourself 8 years of unauthorized power. Case closed.